Happy 4th of July, everyone. What I'm going to do here today, since it's fireworks season, of course, the 4th of July, I've decided to do a little test run because last New Year's Eve when I did my firework display, I didn't have a finale. So my neighbor and I, we came up with a plan where we'll take the opportunity this season, create a finale and test run it on two different options. As you can see here, option number one, what we got here is instead of using some high quality artillery canisters, I've decided to use artillery shells just to make it a little cheaper, do a test run instead of spending a lot of money. Decided to go ahead and use my money for New Year's Eve instead. Well, what we have here is option number one. As you can see here, the white fuse here is 1/4 of a second fuse, which means it burns 1/4 of a second per foot, known as quick fuse. Some pros and cons. Pros is it's going to be an extreme rapid fire. The downside is that the fuse is so fast it might skip or it might miss the manufacturer's fuse, but we'll see. But on the other hand, option B over here, as you can see, the green fuse, that's a 2-second fuse, which means it burns 2 seconds per every foot. Hopefully this will work out well, and this is probably where I'm gonna go ahead and veer off to as a finale later this year. Not just a good rapid fire at a good pace, but also you could see the effects, one canister after another. Will give good representation. And just to be safe than sorry, I decided to go ahead and hook up my talent igniters instead of igniting all this right next to me. Again, we have a quick fuse and a little faster fuse. So I'm gonna go ahead and safely fire ignite both of these on my talent igniters. And since I had some leftover canister shells, I went ahead and fused up my own personal rack, which is a 15-second fuse. As you can see here, all the manufacturer's fuse with the main lead line going from making S shape. So again, this is my typical average fuse that I use for canisters, the 15-second fuses. And again, I'm going to use the talent igniters right here to go ahead and fire from. Another thing, important thing, especially if you're the type that likes to shoot canisters, shells, you got your own rack, you got your own tubes. First and foremost, about lesson learned. Number one, always make sure to go inside with some kind of vacuum or something. Clean out your tubes first, because any obstructions, anything from last year, can obstruct, dislodge, and can misfire any kind of artillery shell or canister. So yeah, first and foremost, make sure the tubes are thoroughly clean before you put the artillery inside. Then of course, rule number two is always make sure that the shell itself hits the very bottom. A little safety note I want to add too is when it comes to cutting fuses, you want to have the proper tool to cut fuses. You don't want to pre-ignite or ignite any kind of fuse immaturely. So what I did was I went and took the time, saved the money, and bought myself a nice little fuse cutter. Of course, go to mortarsupply.com. It's a nice fuse cutter. It's safe to use, and you can safely cut your fuses. So we'll see how it goes tonight. Either option A, the quick fuse, or option B right here will be the 2-second fuse. But again, I'm leaning towards a 2-second fuse to give a nice little demonstration as a finale, what I'm going to do later this year. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and do a video later tonight to show both results. And of course, my typical standard fusing of a full rack. Alright, I'll see y'all later, and y'all be safe tonight. Alright, bye-bye.